Hello?
That 30 seconds of just nothing.
Yeah, it's going to be... I'll just make the intro longer or something. But podcast, we're back, yeah!
Oh, I probably shouldn't do that. It's going to set the dog off. I have a dog with me today.
Just in case there's any noise, it's only taken us 20 minutes to get the dog calmed down.
We've sat here ready to record. Obviously, me at my end, you at yours, and we've been chatting for a good half an hour. And then we go, right, time to hit record. I say, okay, I'm about to click record, and then the dog started doing what he's doing now, whinging.
Is it the word record? It's just a trigger word for the doggo.
It might be. Oh, he's all right now. He's come back. He's come across. He's over here now, and I'm stroking him again. So I'm kind of hoping it's not going to be him whinging for our podcast because he's missing his owners, I think, because they've got
His real parents.
and left a dog with me. That was silly.
It's irresponsible dog ownership.
Should I shave him?
Yes.
No. Anyway, this feels weird that we're going to talk about people eating each other, and I'm just stroking a very cute dog.
I mean, yeah. But it's not even like just people killing and eating each other. It's just weird killing as well.
Extremely weird. In lots of fun and entertaining ways.
Where do you want to start? Do you want to start with cannibalism or ritual murder?
Oh, that's a tough one.
I know. Ritual murder could be both as well.
Yeah, you could argue that, definitely. I really don't mind. I'll start talking about whichever one you would like to start.
Okay. I watched Hannibal first.
Okay, let's do that then.
Also, it's alphabetical.
Yes. I actually have to think. That's really bad.
Yeah, I know, so did I. I was like, it's alphabetical? Just looking,
then,
like trying to remember what order the alphabet goes in.
Brilliant. Okay, so Hannibal.
Yes.
What's
very
that about?
good. It's very good.
It definitely could.
So good.
It could be my favourite TV show ever.
It could be getting a new series.
I know. That's great. I still haven't finished the third series, but anyway.
You need to, so that you can watch the new series.
Hannibal is about Hannibal Lecter, but it's more about
This is more about
detective
Will,
from-
really.
Yeah, Will Graham, who's in Red Dragon. I don't know if he's in any other books. I'm not sure. I've only ever read Red Dragon. I read it on holiday this year.
Doesn't he die at the end of Red Dragon?
I
No,
think
he
so.
gets like he gets
Yeah,
like
he
his
gets
face
attacked.
gets all messed up.
Hmm.
He gets mentioned in the Silence of the Lambs film. He gets mentioned.
Yeah, he's mentioned in the book, I think.
Yeah, it's something like, oh, how's Will or something.
Oh, is that
Like,
Will
how's his
still
face?
So Will Graham is a profiler for the FBI, and he gets recruited by Jack Crawford, who's a detective, to investigate a serial killer known as the Minnesota Shrike. Is that right? Minnesota Shrike? Sounds right.
Yeah,
So yeah,
that is correct. That is a
has-
thing.
He has this weird ability to sort of empathise with and sympathise with murderers, and therefore can sort of understand the motive behind any sort of given murder, which is cool. You get the thing wiping across the screen, wiping away.
Yeah, I forgot
elements
how
of the crime.
cool that was.
It's amazing.
Because it's like one of the first things you see, because you see him like on a crime scene.
Yeah, the first one is him, just like, walking
Well, yeah, it's
through.
like it's an unrelated crime to Hannibal.
Is it not one of the Minnesota Shrike crimes? Oh, it's not, is it? Because he shoots it. Yeah, no, it's not.
Yeah, it's just like but it's because he's teaching at the FBI Academy because he's not allowed to be an actual agent.
Yeah.
For the Fibby.
The Fibby. And then
I can't
following
remember
this,
what
he-
like Hannibal describes it as. like his ability?
I don't know. Just an empathy.
It's like it's something empathy, pure empathy. Something like that.
I don't remember.
Where he can, because he can empathise with like anyone.
Yeah.
Including serial killers. And also later in the show, cannibals. Actually, this episode, cannibals.
Oh, I think the whole way through it's implied that there's cannibals because he could, that's the other part of the show that I absolutely love.
What, the M&S adverts?
Oh, mate, they're so good. They make me really hungry. But watching Hannibal prepare sort of gourmet style food and that sort of thing is really satisfying to watch.
Like, the food scenes do remind me of like M&S adverts, and I'm just like, oh man, it shouldn't be making me hungry, but
it's a really good way of describing it though. That's amazing.
But I think like the first murders that not the interesting one, but if like the murders in this, it leads to one of the most interesting storylines I think in the first series. When
which
the girl in the bed,
yes,
who was kidnapped as one of like the eight college girls who'd been kidnapped, and like they're investigating it and like stuff, but they find her in like the bed, and
from the bed she's been taken from, so she's taken, killed, and then put back.
Yeah, and like it's the autopsy that scene is just like, oh, that's what the empathy can do. Because like at first it looked like he's just really good at reenacting crime scenes.
Yeah.
But then in the autopsy he's like, oh, and he just says something like, oh, there's something wrong with the meat.
Yeah.
And they're just like, what? And then one of them just goes, she had liver cancer, and it was like, oh. And then he's just like, he's eating them, and it's just like, okay, and cut.
Is that it then? Am I right in thinking that it then cuts to
probably Hannibal cooking?
Yeah. Yeah, I think it does. But he has a nice kitchen. He has
a nice house.
They're all nice. The thing I like about Hannibal is it's really good-looking people in really good clothes, in really good rooms and nice areas to be in, fact, doing the most sort of upper class bourgeois stuff, and I don't know why, but it's really satisfying. But the sort of the formality of it, do you know what I mean? Like everyone's in a suit or like a dress, and their hair's perfect and everything, and they're all super professional.
Yeah, and then like there's just this sort of like, you're watching it just going, but they're all eating people.
Yeah, exactly.
But I think the thing that I find most disconcerting about Hannibal is not just the whole like, oh, he eats people, but it's the fact that he seems to take pleasure in
feeding those people.
Feeding other people.
Yeah. Oh, too many people in that sense.
I know, but I couldn't think of a better way to word it.
There's one element of the show that has stopped me recommending it to certain people that I know, because, and I think, you know,
is it people who eat at the same time as watching TV? Because
no,
I don't recommend that with Hannibal.
Eating at the same time, yeah, it makes the mushroom thing made me feel a bit sick, and I was eating my dinner there when I started watching it. How it's disgusting. But no, it's the fact there's a very, very arty side to the show. Like, there's definitely influence from sort of art house cinema, so it's a lot of abstract images floating through when he's dreaming, and he's constantly pursued by this, or he keeps noticing there's this feathered stag. So it's this deer that's got like on it where its neck meets its torso, that's got feathers everywhere, and then the Wendigo turns up, which is like the black creature with deer antlers. All the sort, and then in series 3 it really ramps up that sort of side of thing. That's the sort of thing that makes me stop recommending it to certain people that I think like, do you know what, I think you'll enjoy the sort of police procedural part of it, but you're not going to be able to get past the whole weird visual metaphors.
Yeah. Interestingly, the first job the director had was making a commercial for Silent Hill.
Really?
I mean, he also directed one of the Twilight films, so...
I didn't know that. Is this Brian Fuller, do you mean?
No, David Slade, who directed this episode.
Possibly more. Oh, that's it, because Brian Fuller's the showrunner, isn't he? I didn't know that. He did Silent Hill the game or Silent Hill the film?
The game. He made a trailer for it, not the actual game.
Wow. That's really
and he did 30 Days of Night. I'm just reading the stuff he's done.
I
now.
think I seem to remember his name popping up. He's doing a few Breaking Bads.
One Breaking Bad, Open House, episode 3 of season 4.
The one where Marie nicks the spoons. Oh wow! I've just looked at his thing. He's done a lot of music videos.
Yeah, and an episode of Black Mirror, and some episode. He also directed the pilot of American Gods.
Sweet. Oh, this is good. What Black Mirror did he do?
Metalhead.
Metalhead.
I can't remember which one that is.
Uh,
And it doesn't have a link, so I can't click it. Wait, here's a link. I'll click that.
Metalhead. Don't remember that at all.
Well, it's slightly digressing, but like no, it is a beautiful show. It's not a show for everyone though, is it?
Was that Black Mirror?
No.
Or Hannibal.
Hannibal.
I
mean both.
Show them both to your very young children.
Yeah, I mean Hannibal might make them eat people. But...
sorry, I've completely forgotten. So yeah, with this, then Will's recruited, but then we haven't actually explained his relationship to Hannibal. He's assigned a therapist, a psychiatrist, and that is how Hannibal meets Will. And from there, he kind of just starts to manipulate him, like entirely. His entire life is, it seems, in the control of Hannibal, and that goes through pretty much all the way through it. And it's actually, well, what I've seen of it anyway, up until the point of series 3 where I am. And I think I will finish this quite soon, because talking about it now, I'm getting excited about it. But it's an amazing sort of love story between them. Like, I genuinely think there are points where I wouldn't have been surprised had they just started kissing.
Yeah, I think in this episode, it's when they sit down to like eat breakfast.
Yeah.
And it's like you've met each other once, and you've sat down to eat possibly human sausage and eggs together.
When you say human sausage,
potentially lung sausage from the person he murders. Because like the second case they go to after he's been recruited by Crawford is the staged killing, like the copycat killing that Hannibal does. After the scene before saying, I think I can show him the the killer's face. When he's sat talking to Crawford and he just goes, I think I can help show Will the killer.
Mm.
And so then he like stages this murder in sort of like similar enough that it just helps. It seems to help Will focus on like the original case, and then pull out like, I think he says like he had to show me a negative so I could see the positive.
Yeah.
And which is a really nice way of saying I needed to see someone do a shit imitation of this murder so I could figure out who did the real murder.
I'd see the sort of the finer points of it.
Yeah. And then he just like reels off like all these facts. And he's like, oh, he's got a daughter, she's leaving, he's gonna miss her, he wants to kill her and eat her. And then
that is quite a jump, isn't it, for sort of rational people? Obviously not you, as we've just discussed, you're a sociopath. But for me, that's kind of a weird thing to want to do.
Yeah, no, it is. But I don't know. I guess it's sort of... I don't understand. Like, it is a weird thing to do.
Yeah.
To murder, like, random women and eat them because you might miss your daughter.
It is an odd one to try and explain, isn't it? Listen, what I was trying to do.
What it was I was gonna miss my daughter, so I ate some people.
Is it in this episode we go into Garrett Jacob Hobbs' house, or is that's later? Is it?
No, that's this episode.
It is this episode. Sorry, yeah, it's been a while.
Which
since
just
I've seen it.
I'd forgotten how. Like, it's really weird because it's almost Monster of the Week.
Yeah, it has that feel, but I guess it being a pilot, they needed something that was just, you know.
It has Monster of the Week and Monster in the title. So
Yeah, Monster of the Week sort of feel, but then they really expand it out. And what happens to Garrett Jacob Hobbs haunts Will for like the rest of his time, doesn't it?
yeah, definitely. Because so they go to like the like construction site where
Garrett
Jacob Hobbs works.
I like a good 3-name name, like Garrett Jacob Hobbs, Eugene Victor Toombs from X-Files. It's good.
I mean, this guy's a cannibal.
Well, I didn't say yeah, but in X-Files, Eugene Victor Toombs is a guy who can fit in any sort of given space, and he hibernates for 40 years, and then comes out and kills a load of people, and then does it again. Might not be 40 years, but anyway.
Same sort of feel.
What we're trying to say is, if you've got 3 names, you're a bit of a bastard.
But so, what I found weird is that he picks this file out by just going like, "Oh, he didn't leave an address on like his resignation letter." It's like, oh, I mean, that's odd, but not. And he's like, everyone else left an address. This guy didn't. He's a murderer. It's like, okay.
Again, another big jump, but in fairness,
Correct. But then, like, I think the first time the thing going into this, like the first time you watch it, you know that Hannibal is a cannibal.
yeah.
Even if you didn't, you can work out there's cannibals. But that guy whose name rhymes with the word cannibal.
I think he's definitely in the popular culture enough that even if you haven't read the book, seen the films, anything like that, you definitely know what the thing about Hannibal is.
Oh yeah, like I was at primary school, I think, the first time I heard the words Hannibal the Cannibal. And I was like, okay, cool. Anyone called Hannibal, probably a cannibal.
It confused me when we were studying, Hannibal as in the Roman general Hannibal who took elephants.
Just sat there just going, is he...
So
Did
what?
he
He's
eat his enemies?
He's Anthony Hopkins, isn't he?
But what's weird is I'm not a huge fan of horror.
It's absolutely a horror show.
Like, no, it is. But
Completely.
it's that sort of different kind of horror that I like. I like the sort of like psychological stuff.
Yeah.
Not the he's chasing me through a house stuff.
With the chainsaw.
Yeah. Although they're making a new Texas Chainsaw film.
Really?
It's an origin story. It looks shite. But
What
kind of
origin
interesting.
do you need?
I don't know. It kind of looks interesting. It looks a bit like the first Jason film, Halloween 1, probably.
No, Jason's Friday 13th.
First one of those. Looks a bit like that in that like, there's a guy and he ends up with
Brilliant.
a mask.
That's cool. Yep, good. Good film.
You might like maybe watch the trailer and then tell me what you think.
Yeah, no, I'll have a look.
But not right now. We're busy talking about other stuff.
About Hannibal.
Yeah, but the thing it's weird because I don't like horror much. I like some of it, but not much of it. But like, always really enjoyed like the sort of like Red Dragon, Hannibal, Silence of the Lambs.
Sort of the crime thing.
Yeah, like the serial killer stuff, I dig.
Yep, completely.
And but it's just like I think it's just the fact that Hannibal's so cold and calculating about it's just like, oh, it's just a courtesy call, but they know you're a cannibal.
So quick.
See what you can do about not getting caught.
It's him ringing up Garrett Jacob Hobbs and saying, "They know." And then they get there, don't they? Will gets there.
Yeah,
to
Hannibal's there as well.
He follows him, doesn't he? But he's fair.
No, they go in the car together. But Will
I
gets
thought
out first.
Will
No,
gets
they go
into the house first.
Yeah, no, Will gets into the house first, but they turn up together, and Hannibal sort of like stays in the car. It's just like, let's see what happens. Doggo knows what happens. You just hear him in the background, just going like, "Oh no, I'm going to die."
I am sorry. He's fine. He's just a little bit mopey because he's all right now. He's just fucked off. I have no idea where he is now. But
so yeah, as Will's walking to the house, Hobbs opens the door, pushes his wife out, whose throat he's just cut. She bleeds to death.
Awkward.
Not awkward. That's what happens.
That's what happens to wives.
So then Will goes into the house with his gun out because obviously this guy has just murdered someone. And then
bang, 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 bang,
and
bang,
shoots
bang,
him
bang,
like
bang,
9
bang.
times.
I suppose.
And
he wants to
like
do
the
it
daughter
right.
gets her throat cut a little bit, but not enough to kill her.
No.
Which
She
is
then
important.
Recovers in hospital at the end of the episode.
Well, Hannibal does that creepy thing of,
falling asleep.
"You've never met me. Just gonna sit next to you in this hospital, hold your hand a little bit."
Which, well, obviously we don't want to go into like where that ends up, but so yeah, but that act it comes back to haunt Will over the course of the series. Like he'll look one way and then just see like Garrett Jacobs Hobbs just lying on the floor, or his body's floating towards him or something.
Yeah, the person we haven't touched on at all is Bloom,
Yeah, Alana Bloom.
who it literally walks around going, "Don't let Will get too involved in this shit. It's not good for him. He's a
He'll do something.
bit mental. It's gonna fuck him up. Crawford, be careful." And like Crawford's like, "Oh, don't worry, I got this." Lets him go after a murderer.
Totally
Like,
doesn't have it. Yeah, she's actually. It's there's a few characters in Hannibal actually who in the original stories they're all men. Like in the book, there's like barely any women in it, so it's quite nice that they've just.
no, there are victims.
Okay, well, very few characters who have more to offer to the story than just being a victim. But yeah, because she's Alan Bloom in Red Dragon, and who else? What's the other one? Oh, Freddie Lowndes is a chap in Red Dragon as well. The
But
journalist.
I guess like the way they're written doesn't really make that much of a difference to the actual like core of the character.
No, not at all. It was strange though, because when I was reading the book, I automatically was, when I was thinking Freddie Lowndes, I was thinking of the actress who plays Freddie Lowndes in this.
Oh,
And
did you watch this before you read the book?
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't make that clear today.
I sort of assumed that being the horror fanatic that you are, you would have read this when you were like 10 or something.
No. I only recently got the book. I read it when I was on holiday this year.
I think I might need to get it at some point.
Oh, sorry, you can have my copy. I don't want it anymore. I've read it.
Oh, thank you.
That's right. Oh yeah, because that's the other thing. We're about to spend the bank holiday weekend with each other, where you're coming down here, and then we're going to record a shitload of stuff.
What's going to happen? We're going to end up recording like one.
Yep. Or none, which is
what normally
every
happens.
time. I had another point to make about Hannibal. Oh yeah, there are a couple of characters in Hannibal who are just in another show. Do you know who I mean? The two sort of forensic people, the guys who do the autopsy, the two chaps there. They are not in this same show at all. They have a really broad comic relationship. They're just making jokes about everything, and Will's there going through genuinely huge psychological trauma, and then they're just dicking about. It became quite grating for me, because I was like, you don't fit.
I think that sort of helps to. I think like that sort of stuff helps to show how like insular like Will is, and he doesn't like if he doesn't tell you, you wouldn't know.
Yeah,
I guess,
absolutely.
which is what makes his relationship with Hannibal like more special. because Hannibal just sort of looks at him and goes, "You're sad that I'm a cannibal."
Well, yeah. I mean, you'd be sad if you found out I was a cannibal. I presume.
Only if you were trying to eat me or feed me people.
Or feed you your own leg. Oh wait, that happened.
That's season 2.
I completely forgot.
Fucking Eddie Izzard, that.
I know. Oh, Doggo's upset. You said Eddie Izzard. I think he's more of a Dylan Moran kind of guy.
Oh, I see.
Is that right?
I see.
He's calmed down now. You stopped talking about Eddie Izzard. There we go. Yeah, but Hannibal genuinely is one of my favourite shows. Even though I haven't finished it, I don't know. I struggle watching it in big chunks. I have to sort of watch one and then let it percolate in my head. For
Do you know
quite
what?
a while.
Like the worst Hannibal thing that happened to me was I fell asleep during an episode,
Oh god, that could really fuck you up with this.
and like I woke up to one of the deer visions, and I was like, "What
Oh my
the
God.
fuck is going on? Help me!" Nope. And then I had to watch 6 more episodes of it before I could go back to sleep. I think that's actually how I finished season 2.
So it's sort of pointless us saying, "Are you going to watch it?" Because
Already seen it.
you've already seen it all, and I am in the process of finishing it. I can't remember what episode of series 3 I'm up to because I don't.
Just start again. Season 1. Start again.
Well, I did try doing that a while ago, and I've watched series 1. I might start with series 2 again because the second half of series 2 is one of the best few episodes of TV I've ever seen.
The thing, like, my favourite thing about the whole show is that it doesn't ever sort of feel like it's taking a while to get somewhere.
Yeah.
Because, like, by the end of season 1, like, Hannibal's kind of outed. If that's the right phrase to use for a cannibal.
Is it by series 1? It's not by series 1, he's not.
I thought it happened at the end of series 1, or
No,
they
it's
know
the,
but they can't prove it.
no, it's the end of series 2 is when I think they find out, isn't it?
I thought the dinner party was in season 1, though.
No. No, because season 1 ends with I don't really want to give it away in case people, but it's a wrongful imprisonment.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I'm with you. Because they do all the straitjacket stuff and the mouth grill.
Yeah.
Ah, yeah, that was cool.
So it is series 2, isn't it? Because there's that horrific dinner party where everything goes wrong.
See, I thought it was like half. Was it? It's yeah, no, it's the end of season 2. Because like the last few episodes are
Intense.
yeah, and like it's that sort of. I need to rewatch it. I think.
Yeah.
So I completely forgot. I was just like,
so
you know,
the bit of admin. Do you want to just rewatch series 2 like this weekend? We'll just have it on in the background while we're doing other shit.
yeah, can watch the last episode of season 1 as well.
Yeah,
Because
definitely.
I don't know why, but in my head that episode was awesome.
Yeah.
We're not going to be recording any podcasts at the weekend.
No, we're just going to be watching Hannibal. Should we shift over to...
True Detective.
Okay, so True Detective, basically, we start off, we see 2 detectives in the present day, or roughly present day, isn't it, being interviewed.
Are they being interviewed or like deposed?
Well, we don't
Apparently
know.
they're 2 different things. I don't understand America.
At this point, you're shown there are 2 detectives who are being interviewed on camera about several topics. Biggest of
Oh, is
which
it not
each
just?
other.
Is it not just 1995 that they talk about then? They talk about like a bunch of cases.
Well, the first episode they're going over their history, aren't they? So you have Marty, who's played by Woody Harrelson, saying, "Well, I first met Rust, who's played by Matthew McConaughey, on this thing," and then they go on. So basically, what you can gather is he's being asked about Rust, and Rust is being asked about what happened in 1995. So basically, they work together, and the show shows us this. It ages them fantastically. Like, so obviously, modern days look old and that. They go back to 1995, younger versions of themselves. They're investigating a murder.
A ritualistic
a-
murder.
Yeah, ritualistic murder. It has sort of you know,
satanic symbolism and stuff around it, isn't it?
yeah, completely. So, the first one is more about the murder. It basically sets up what's going on. So basically, you learn that they are talking about each other, about what's happening, and also you see the body, and you're introduced to that. So then it goes from talking about each other, they talk about the murder, and then they talk about each other again, because you have the whole scene where Rust comes to dinner with Marty's family, and then we figure out.
Does he kill the wife?
No, you've watched this, right?
I've watched the first episode.
Yeah, no, that doesn't.
Does he kill the wife at some point?
The awful thing is I don't remember. Because I watched this. It was the same sort of time I bought Hannibal. I just bought the. There's a whole bunch of like TV dramas that I just bought the first series of, and this was one of them. And I watched it. I was just in Sainsbury's, like I was waiting.
Did you do that and then just go? I've got an idea for a podcast.
Pretty much. It was around the time we started doing it. In fairness. So the story flip flops between 1995 and modern day. You find they have had an altercation 7 years after the murder. There was an argument, and they haven't spoken since. This now being 2012, and the episode ends with the reveal that there is murders. There's been a murder which closely resembles the one from 1995. So this whole first episode sets up. This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna flip flop between these two time things, and then, they've obviously caught someone for the 1995 murder. He's still in jail. How's this still happening?
Drama.
I don't know if you could hear, but the dog was barking just then. Halfway through that.
I did hear.
I'm sorry about him, but I sort of got to look after him. So fuck you.
It's fine. No one listens to this shit anyway.
Yeah, exactly. And Tara likes dogs, right?
Probably. I don't know if she's forgiven me for the being human spoiler yet. She commented saying that she wouldn't, but
Oh really?
only comment we've ever had. Oh no, we haven't. No.
We've had more than that, haven't we?
Yeah, we've had 2 comments.
In fairness, we literally put this up on your YouTube channel, and that's pretty much it. And SoundCloud it goes up on, doesn't it?
Nope.
Why not SoundCloud?
Doesn't go anywhere else. Can't be bothered.
I
I might do it at some point.
Yeah,
but it's going to be.
One day.
It's going to just be one day. I'm just going to dump the backlog.
Yeah, we're just maybe we should pay to host it somewhere and maybe try and bump it a bit once we've got a few going. But for now, I'm quite happy just doing this.
Yeah.
We've got the one that went up today, Man in 1983. That's already got 3 views.
Did that go out today?
Yeah. I got a little notification saying it was out today.
Oh, that's nice. YouTube doesn't fucking tell me when the videos go live. So it's it looks like you uploaded this 2 months ago. You don't give a shit, do you?
What was the most recent one we did? I can't remember what we did last time.
I can literally look while you
Man.
talk about this TV show we're meant to be talking about.
So yeah, Matthew McConaughey. It comes in the middle of his McConaissance, as it's called. So he was known for doing, romantic comedies and comedy. But he did Fool's Gold, which is terrible. But then he started getting these serious roles, didn't he? So this is around the sort of time of Interstellar and Magic Mike, where he plays a sort of darker character, and particularly this is probably the darkest thing at this point. And Woody Harrelson, who is just fucking incredible in everything. Did you know Woody Harrelson's dad was implicated in the assassination of JFK?
Really?
Yeah, he was one of the suspects, I think.
That's cool. Did that help Woody Harrelson get started?
Probably not. Do you think it would?
No. Unless they're doing a reenactment.
Do you know what's weird? Is that it's not actually mentioned in his sort of personal life bit on Wikipedia.
Can't imagine why.
Perhaps it would be in his early life. Oh,
But no.
oh my god, yeah, no, his dad was a hitman. He was arrested for killing a judge.
Oh.
Jesus, and he died in prison. Fuck, that's dark, isn't it? Yeah.
And Woody Harrelson was in White Men Can't Jump.
Do you think perhaps his father was like learn a bit of reform because he kills a judge and then learned how to play fucking basketball?
But no, the thing is, like, I missed this when it first came out. I didn't see it. I think I flicked onto it once and just went, oh, this must be a film, because it's Woody Harrelson and Matthew McConaughey. And I went, I'm not starting it halfway through, and turned it off, and never checked what it was. Never gave it, like, a chance to show me what it had. It looks so good.
It is really good. I mean, the trouble is, I don't really remember it, but I remember at the time I was watching it, I was completely intrigued. There's one episode where there's, I think there's a raid going on, or they're looking for a suspect, and as far as I remember, it's an action sequence that's entirely in one shot, but it spans like a whole load of streets and buildings, and it's incredible.
I really like those, like, one shot, like, where they have, like, the camera that has to track, like, one shot. I can't remember. There was something I was watching that had it. Some of Defenders actually had it as well.
Oh, really? Oh, is that out? I've not watched any of it.
Yeah, I watched all of it. I might have to rewatch it because I don't think watching it early in the morning, late at night, was a good time to watch. I mean, I'm like half asleep watching on like a phone, just like I can't. But no, what I like the sort of how different the characters are, like Marty and Russ.
They're complete polar opposites to each other, aren't they? So Rust is sort of a minimalist. He doesn't have many things, like material possessions. I think you see his flat, don't you? And he's got like a mattress and a kettle or something.
And a crucifix.
That's it. And
apparently that was important enough to mention.
And Marty obviously has a family and a wife and invites around for dinner and everything. So
yeah, and like there seemed to be in the first episode like hints of like a dark past for Russ.
Yeah.
Because like he just shows up like somewhere just like hammered.
He shows up at Marty's house, isn't it? That's when he says you got to come to dinner. And he turns up completely pissed. And he goes, "It's alright, I'll cover you, don't worry." So he goes and fakes a phone call. He's like, "Oh, Rust, you got to go." And they agree this plan. They go to carry it out. He goes, "Oh, Rust, mate, you got to go. There's a phone call for you." He goes, "Nah, I'm alright, I'll stay." But yeah, you get the sense he's a bit of a Will Graham in a way, because he's very, very insular. He doesn't say too much,
and he's got that same sort of like
that sort of
analytic skill and like just figuring out how like the crime happened and like he makes the same sort of weird little jumps that Will makes. Like, oh, he didn't put an address down, murderer. Not quite as big a I didn't know it's that big a jump, but.
No, nothing like that. I'm sorry, I'm coughing a lot. My throat's just gone really dry.
It's because you're allergic to dogs.
Oh, I really hope not.
That would be awkward if you're like dog sitting and you just go like, "Oh no, sorry, we had to let your dog go because it turns out I'm allergic to dogs and it might have killed me."
Where is it now? Don't know. Just let it out the door.
Where is it now? Oh, I kicked down the door to your flat.
You can't smell. I think one of the things that narratively this show is really successful for is it's not just one story. It's you've got to sort of juggle. There's things going on in 1995 and then there's stuff that is still going on in 2012. Stuff that is revealed in the 2012 interviews. It might just be a throwaway line, but it'll make you think, oh, okay, so that's not the situation at the minute, so something's changed here. So like this isn't too much of a spoiler, but in the second episode, Marty reveals that he's divorced from his wife for unknown reasons at that point.
Because she was murdered.
We leave it alone. You can't be divorced from a dead person. But Rust is he's a tricky character to sort of like, isn't he? Because he's extremely nihilistic. But you feel like when he's writing everything down, you feel he's going to be the one that's going to get to the bottom of this before Marty does. Because Marty sort of deals with the people side of it. He deals with the disgusting crime part.
Yeah. I started to feel like it wasn't so much about the crime.
Yeah, it's more a story of them, really. I mean, until sort of towards the end.
I sort of imagined that
they get closer and closer to what's actually going on, and the murder and everything.
What I quite like is I was going into it like, oh, there's like already 2 seasons, and I was like, oh wait, but it's 2 seasons, but with different casts. So if I don't like season 1, I don't need to watch it. I can just watch season 2. If season 1 doesn't take my fancy,
well,
I can just see if season 2's any better.
I have heard, like, with critical responses to things like podcasts and reviews and things, series 1 is apparently much better than series 2. Series 2 is not good.
I've heard good things about season 2. I was also like, before I had an awareness of who the cast was of like the 2 seasons, and someone went to me. They just went, "You look like one of the people out of True Detective." And I was like, "Oh, which season?" I was like, "Oh, I don't know which season." I just started like, well, I mean, it's not going to be Colin Farrell because
you don't look anything like Colin Farrell.
Yeah, and I was just like, wait, who are the other actors? I was like, oh, fucking Woody Harrelson. No. Oh, Matthew McConaughey? No. Who's the other one? Who is the other one?
Vince Vaughn.
Name. And I was like, I don't. And they were just like, oh no, it's Colin Farrell. And I was like, is it? Fuck.
What? Who thinks you look like Colin Farrell?
I don't know. Drunk people.
They must have been fucking drunk.
Always. But I was just like, okay, I can't watch this TV show now. Because I'll forever be reminded of the time that someone told me I might have looked like Woody Harrelson. Because that was a risk. Because I don't think anyone knew who they were. Because as soon as I got everyone, no, I don't see it. And I was like, my self-esteem is slowly plummeting.
How recently was this?
No, it would have been when season 2 was airing. So, like, 2013, 14?
Yeah, around then I think it was. Because I feel like it was coming out as we were still at uni. The first series.
Yeah?
Is that right?
Maybe.
It might be.
Well, we would have been at uni in 2012.
Yeah.
But this came out in 2014, so...
That's bizarre then. I don't know. I guess it was just set in 2012 for whatever reason.
Or maybe it was written in 2012 and it took them 2 years to convince Woody Harrelson to do it and not play the hitman.
I wonder if he does that, if he goes, do you know what, if it's a role where I'm playing a hitman, I'm not fucking doing it, because I don't want to be associated with my dad. I don't know.
That would explain why he's a magician in Now You See Me. That and the film's about magicians.
So, does that mean you're going to carry on watching this? Because it sounds like it's got you a little bit interested.
I am interested. It's one of those things. Like, there's only like 6 episodes or something a season. 8. Ugh.
I ain't doing it now. Fuck that.
I guess I can do 8. Yeah, no, I probably will keep watching it.
It is very, very good. I did really enjoy it. But
I think it'll be one of those things that I pick up like an episode every so often when I'm like, I need something to watch that's kind of like, I guess, stimulating, like makes you sort of think. Because even though like Hannibal's great, Hannibal doesn't make you think, because all the time you're just going, yeah, but it's Hannibal. Yeah, but look, he's the bad guy. But they're making a season 3 of True Detective.
Are they? Oh, I
Yeah.
might give series 2 a try. But it is quite depressing.
What, True Detective?
Yeah. Towards the end, it's very, very dark.
That's fine. I'll just cry. I don't give a fuck.
Okay. Well, I can't really answer that because I've watched all of Series 1. I might carry on with Series 2 at some point. I keep saying this, like, I might watch it all, but I just
You
don't
don't
time
have a
to
lot
watch
of time.
shit. No, it's
And I
really-
keep just going like, hey, can you watch these shows? Got to do a fucking podcast.
I am working on trying to get more weekends where I don't have shit to do so I can watch more shit and play more games and do more fun stuff.
Oh, talk
But-
to me. Just in general, that's a
Yeah,
fun thing.
I'm just fucking in demand, you know? When you look like this.
Nah, that just makes me surprised that you're in demand.
Brilliant. You don't have to come down, you prick.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, you do. Alright, well, this is the last one before the weekend where Rich came down. Let's see how many of them are we in the same room for.
We might be doing The Expanse and Dark Matter in the same room.
Maybe. I don't know
Or
what either
we'll
of those
record it
are.
after I come back. We might then do Merlin and Robin Hood
Oh, we're
in the
giving-
same room. But we might not. And we're unlikely to do anything after that.
No. Two's our limit.
At most,
Hour.
we might get 2.
Yeah. I don't know. I reckon we could bash out a few of them if we just had like a day of watching telly and then a day of recording, or like a morning and afternoon.
What we could do is just watch them and record at the same time.
Then they'd be like 2 hours.
They would be
long.
like 2 hours long.
And there would
but-
be no comparison until the second half.
Just getting towards the end of the episode, like, oh shit, yeah, it's basically alright.
All right.
Yeah,
well,
let's not do that.
Let's see how it goes.
Yeah.
All right.
Well,
See you later, everybody.
bye.
I'm gonna go check on this dog. Bye.